when did you start picking up Suyo?
Yeah, I have. I have been picking up Suyo. Oh, when?
Yeah.
When it got released, dude. When I figured out this man was a certain someone in the collab we're going to be getting.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Sasuke.
I have not stopped playing I have not stopped playing Suyo since M6.
Wow.
I'm at like 200 games now.
I'm close. I'm 178.
It's ridiculous, dude.
You guys remember your stats on your things. Holy.
Ridiculous.
Look, TLID has made the adaptation saying, you know what? Blue side may be the winning side now. Bigatron Esports still may be a game up, but at least they're second pick. Maybe they can look for some power picks this time around because they've already gone through the bans, and I'm not seeing Kalia ban.
Kalia has been left open by Bigatron Esports. We saw it banned out by Liquid on red side, so Bigatron playing a dangerous game, but maybe a game that they want to play. Maybe a game that they know, Liquid might not want to go Kalia. They might take it up. Ooh, no, they go for Suyo. Kalia open for Bigatron. But I have a question. Blue side or red side in the Philippines? Which
50-50 right now.
It's 50-50.
It's as close to 50-50.
I will double check.
There she
quick.
is!
Oh, it's already in.
Wow.
First Kalia, a mobile Masters paired up with a Harith coming in from Bigatron Esports on the red side.
What I say, I know my boy Dylan Katipon, Light, a.k.a. Pamel. He knows how to play Kalia.
Yeah.
That's his style, dog.
I agree. I think this Kalia pick was really not made for him, but it definitely catered to him, right? I mean, he has always been this kind of pick-off heavy player in the past, and with Kalia, it's the best of all of, his
world.
picks' worlds. It's a pick-off with healing.
Oh!
And a Hanzo as well for Annabelle.
I think they're spicing things up here. They're one game up, and then now they're like, we got some buffer to play
Let's
with.
do it.
This is the Bigatron I know, man. When they win game 1, they go crazy in game 2. Sometimes it doesn't work out for them, but I feel like this is a pretty good level of crazy to go for, because these are meta picks. These are some really good picks, and it's comfort as well. We were talking about how Annabelle didn't really look too comfortable on the Suyo, but on the Hanzo, this is very, very Annabelle. Think of Annabelle when he was in EVOS, hyper carrying the team. It was on these kind of assassins.
Yeah, and also Hanzo is just one of those assassins that are pretty hard to punish now that they've kind of, reworked the way that his body in shadow actually works now. It's, you can't really pick and choose which to go for.
And now there's extra layers of protection. Again, the high, the low cooldown, the high amount of lifesteal he gets when the ult ends. Plus, if some way, somehow, Light is in the vicinity, oh, it's extra healing. So all the more, compared to game 1, Annabelle should be more comfortable.
Should be, but the question is, what is Aaron Sheik going to play? 2 marksman bans already, with Granger already out from TLID, and Harith already locked in for Bigatron Esports. Where does he go? He's going to have to go for, potentially even a Beatrix, considering they've already got a Jawhead, but that's the only synergy that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Beatrix, Irithel. Is that all that's left?
A carry, technically they could go carry. It's not the best.
Carry doesn't look good right now.
Yeah.
Dear God, help.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Jawhead, technically, right? You see the combo, you see a combo.
Kind of like a carry Jawhead, carry Kaja kind of thing.
Carry Kaja, carry Cho kind of thing, but yeah, it's not the best up against the Hanzo as well. That's a Sicilian as well, so actually they're building up to a strange, a mid-game composition. All of their picks, except for, everyone. Maybe the Kalia. Kalia does okay early, but Harith, Hanzo, Sicilian, especially Hanzo, Sicilian, they need the mid-game. They need those items.
And they got away with it in game 1. They got away with a mid-game power spike lineup game 1.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think they could still go for the Badang if they feel like it, just to kind of be like, hey, I may get beat up in lane, but at least I can kind of keep up. And if we need more peel, that's your guy.
There's the Irithel, the Vixana, together with the Jawhead here. I wouldn't mind if Bigatron actually go for something like a Gato Kacha too, right? Like the Badang is good for engage, but maybe this time they just need a bit more. They just need a beefy boy up front.
Hylos open.
Hylos, Gato, those dudes definitely.
Oh no.
To mind.
In the XP, yeah. Because Light's definitely playing the Kalia.
Unless
that's so good though. Either way, you pick a Hylos here, you can switch it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And not to mention that Hylos has some pretty good synergy all across the board, right? I think the only exception being Harith when he drops the Zaman Force, but he can just pick when and where to do it. Either way, Team Liquid ID, I do feel like they're on the back foot here. They've got a strong mid trio, I'll give you that, assuming you find First Blood somewhere in the mid lane.
Yeah. And of course, we have to acknowledge that there's the high loss. That Aaron Shiki is compromised. Like, this is not the best pick in the metagame, despite there being a lot of valid and viable marksmen.
Yeah.
Like the Irithel in the face of a Harith, in the face of a Hanzo. If you can even find the Sicilian, that's going to be a struggle.
I think the worst part is what battle spell do you go with? Do you just double down on the damage and go for sprint? Because even then, sure, you can get rid of the Hanzo, but you're going to get picked up by Kalia. And then if you take the Purify, you can't run away from the Hanzo, or even with the Glorious Pathway, the Summon Force. It's too much of a struggle.
That's the force error we were talking about. I mean, when you go for the Kalia pick, you're not too good up against the Purify, but you can force the enemy gold laner, mid laner to not go for Purify with your other picks, and this is a great example what Bigatron has done.
Boy, this draft is not looking good for TLID. I'm not gonna lie. If they're able to pull this one out of the bag, it's gonna be a strong snowball. But I think that Bigatron Esports, the way that I see it, have a really good draft. I'm gonna give it over to our casters here, Miracle as well as Leo. Boys, take it away for game number 2.
The Red Robots are at match point. Given they have experimented a bit with their draft, it looks like they're going for the throat here as the Cavalry struggle to get things going. Game number 2 in the very first best of 3 in the group stage of Mobile Masters. Here we go. Mirko, I bet you're feeling so much better because I'll tell you now, I feel good about the draft for Bigatron.
Yeah, same here. But, you know, a lot of times when you think they got a good draft, the execution isn't, you know, up to par. So we'll just have to see here, because Liquid ID, despite, you know, losing game 1, despite not having the better draft, they're still really good. I gotta give it to Liquid ID. They have in the past been able to go with very unorthodox drafts and have done well, better than their opponents on, you know, comfort picks.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the player emblems here. Pull yourself together.
I'm seeing a lot of PYTs.
Oh. A solid 2 on Kaleo for the Flicker, and for Mr. Moreno up top, Witty.
Yep. So he definitely wants to stay on top and confirms it is light on the Kalia with Luke on the Hylos. And this is such a great combo of battle spells and kit. You have the Revitalize on Luke, then you double down on the healing with Light. Check this out. Kinjutsu already thrown out by Annabelle, and top lane, Emma's in trouble.
As the Purify will be able to pop it right now, as that's going to be the slam from Light. Not able to dish out enough damage or to CC anyone just yet. Gets a bit of healing, but it's not enough to keep Eman alive. 1-0 first blood for the trio of Liquid ID.
Great start. This is exactly what we were looking for in Liquid. Game 1, sure, they eventually got to a point where they could be aggressive, but this is how Liquid does work. It's the Liquid Stampede. It's not the Liquid wait and walk peacefully.
They gotta try to get, you know, force the issue, get that early game snowball with this kind of composition. They cannot. What would you think is the line that they need to cross? How much of a goalie do they need before Bigatron get their item power spikes to actually make it like even?
This figure is coming out of my behind. I'd say 2,000-3,000. But more importantly, I think Fabian needs to be up like a level or 2. Now the turtle goes. Annabelle scores.
Wins out the Rectory battle. Eternal Guard comes in. Light gonna be locked down to death. But Annabelle finds a trade over to Witty. Now goes over to Aran. Gets caught by the Sanguine Claws. Moreno still able to dish out some damage. Your Luke taken down as well. Turtle for 2 kills. +1 for BTR.
That's a score for Liquid.
Yeah.
I'd say Liquid got the better deal out of that one. Look at that. The rest of the map is going to correct itself. And that is Luke sent home. So that's a few chunks that Aran can take out. Oh no, but if only Annabelle could not play the man-to-man. Amazing instincts from the former EVOS jungler. Look at this.
Goes in. Soul Snatch. Not enough damage to take Aran down. Not just yet. That's a tanky Hilda. Aran gets away. Hylos gets the wave. So they ended up still soaking in the wave here. But yeah, Team Liquid ID definitely still with that lead, that advantage in the early game, building up to almost, well, right now, 1,000.
I stand by that. Fabian has to be up on levels, and that's why I'm worried. Because Annabelle is up on him. He just turned level 7. Witty here catches a few. Light very low.
Oh, the dive from Annabelle could be ready. The flicker forward, and now it will be Witty falling to Eman as Moreno flicker forward to get that last bad impact.
Team Liquid ID overextending there. I don't know what exactly they were going for. It seems like the was the orange stolen? Where did the orange go? I think that's what they were going for. Liquid was going for the buff.
I think Fabian got it, but might have to. Annabelle does have double buffs.
Yeah, but at what cost? Look, Annabelle is at level 8. This is costing Fabian. Oh no.
Not enough damage just yet. No, there's no way he gets to kill Aran there. But yeah, the orange buff is still taken by Fabian up top. Light trying to go in, and Aaron, to answer the questions that we had in the draft, has gone for Purify.
Okay, so again, reliability, consistency. He doesn't want to coin flip his way to a sprint and damage. Team Liquid ID first to the scene here. That's a turtle getting bogged down. The Y brush in control. Aran here holding it down. Fabian scores!
They go for a kill instead. Now Witty pops in the ejector, but it's only onto the ghost of Annabelle. Witty caught it, gets 4, and Mon gets the kill. So it's a turtle for 2.
All right, this definitely is a win for BTR. This was a reverse trade in favor of Team Liquid ID earlier, but ooh, the range, you're seeing it now. This is still the early game, and Bigatron are already clapping back that hard.
And that's, again, great for BTR. Not too good for Liquid. They'll need, like you said, 2 to 3K gold lead by the time BTR hit their power spikes. And at this point, it doesn't look like it's
not gonna happen.
Gonna happen. Bigatron have been able to, keep things quite level for the first 5 minutes of the game. Harith already has a Sanguine Claws. We're getting into that mid-game power spike that we were talking about. Luke will be a great tank, even with the ejector here. Luke gonna be comboed in together. Light tries to go for the sustain, flickers out the safety, and now Annabelle walks back in and gets 4. And Mon is on force as well. Soul Snatch, but it's only onto Yehezkiel still, and Mon gets the kill. Fabian unable to get the kill back. Aran walks up. The Queller is enough. Light falls as well. And there you have it, 3 for 1.
There is one of the weaknesses of a Kalia when it gets down to it. Your Tsunami Slam only really targets a singular hero and does it in such a small AoE that when the fight breaks out... Oh, no. Annabelle's Ghost. All right. When the fight breaks out, you can't affect as much of the fight as you wish you could. Yeah. So already Light spent the flicker there. He's already repositioned. Bigatron Esports made their bed. Team Liquid made them lie in it. And now the 2,000 gold up. Luke gets taken out, picked off. What was the play there?
No, Iman walks up as well, now in a 1v1 against Fabian. But as Iman Force Light walks up, gets a slam down onto Aran, but not enough. Yeah, a good question there, Leo. I'm not sure
what were they thinking?
What Luke was doing there, just opening up all alone. There was no objectives right there. It really looked like more of a mistake than an opening, and it will be a free turtle.
Maybe signs of that chemistry not being all there yet, you know? It's like maybe Luke was thinking something, did not vocalize it, and the rest of Bigatron had to, correct the course, and now, Yehezkiel gets chunked down to a 5th.
I thought it was going to be a free turtle. BTR able to pull back and actually, force TLID back. Good Sanguine Claws over from Reno. Witty. See Luke trying to zone them away. Light. Tsunami Slam and Purify's right there, and Annabelle gets read out by Witty and Aran with the Shadow Form.
That is the duo of Aran and Witty going head hunting. They found Annabelle, and he could not fight back. Like, there was nowhere for his real body in real life to switch up. So he just had to lay down and take it. That's 2 turtles to Liquid ID, and another turret scored down bottom. Conversion through the roof for the Young Stallions.
Moreno's going to be soaking that wave in the bottom lane, and Man trying to get as much gold as possible up top. But in the mid lane, it is Liquid ID looking for the siege. So, despite the fact that we were talking about that 3,000 gold lead not being possible to get taken, ejector again, Annabelle forced back. It was a slam down from Aran as well. But now Liquid have gotten it. They are in control. 3,900 building to a 4,000 gold lead. This is comfortable.
Comfortable is one thing. Actually dominant is another. That's why Team Liquid ID still have to choose their fights. Bigatron Esports now, truth be told, it's more on Moreno. Like, if Moreno can find a way to get to a point of inevitability, get some stacks on him, then that changes things. That might actually shrink Liquid's gold lead and might turn the map a little more red. Slowly but surely, Annabelle's utility will go down, relatively speaking, in this game, because Liquid's getting better at hunting his body down. Look at this. Aran, she's so chunky now compared to earlier.
Yeah, even with the Soul Snatch, only able to get half of his HP, and that's a Hilda. Walk back in the bush, walk back in the bush, back to full HP.
He's photosynthesizing. Aran is buying time. Aran is holding down certain bushes. He's denying even Luke That's an Amazonian woman, 6'5", 200 pounds, holding it down against a centaur.
Damn. This Hilda is tanky. Annabelle walks up. Witty is the choice. This is more of just like an opening for him, right? He just wants to open up the map, wants to know where the Jawhead is. They don't have a Selena to do the dirty business that we saw, the dirty work.
That's the difference. That's the difference now. Eman being the MVP, sure, but the map was opened up by Moreno. So now it's switched up. Moreno is the core. Who's going to fill his shoes? Oh, Luke gets thrown out.
Luke is trying to fill in those shoes, but it won't be enough. Not tanky, not nearly tanky enough. Light almost gets himself into a tough spot by himself by going in for the slam. Liquid ID get a free Lord. That's the first Lord of the game. And remember, the changes to the Lord, it will start charging even here.
This always jumps. Luckily, there are still Holy Shields up for Bigatron Esports. They got about 2 minutes to make the most of that time frame before the Holy Shields go away. This is odd, Mirko. I didn't expect for these Tier 1s to still be standing in mid. Is the Bigatron just doing a good job of defending that? Or is Liquid just choosing their fights? Because again, it is, like, logically speaking, harder to defend side lanes.
Yeah, I think Bigatron has really also just been sticking together in the mid lane. They have kept their mid lane alive as much as possible. NFL walks up, gets terrified, and you can see that HP bar, man. Yeah, you do get punished quite a bit now if you get taken down in the shadow form, and this will be a siege. Finally, if I can open a tier 1 in the mid lane, a tier 2 follows as well. Holy defense for Eman. He's keeping it alive up top, but in the bottom lane, it surely will be procced open. Great ejector from Witty again. Right as he dashes in, this is a charge for the Lord into the base turret. The Holy Defense gets rid of the Lord. Now in the mid lane, another Holy Defense to help BTR defend. Eman has a Holy Crystal, by the way. He just picked it up.
Yep, so again, this might be the same story earlier. Eman just slowly but surely getting there. Oh, the collapse.
Tsunami Slam coming down as well. It's going to be Aran brought back under the turret, but he doesn't care. Taking so many shots and still being able to survive. Not the same story for Luke. He gets taken down very quickly. Soul Snatch, no damage for Annabelle.
So for 4 out of 5 members of Bigatron Esports, they're following the same narrative curve as was in Game 1. Sure, Team Liquid will find a mid-game power spike, stay in control for a majority of that, and then suddenly, this is what we're waiting for. Suddenly Light might find a Sixth Sense initiation and just jump in, Tsunami Slam the right target, and then go from there. But still, it's but a fever dream for Bigatron Esports. The red robots are still wondering how to do that. You asked me earlier for a gold lead expectation. How about a time frame, Mirko? When is Moreno ready?
But I think we got to take a look at the items for that. We got to see how many items teams got. Eman, Moreno, Annabelle, these 3 members. But, you know, another factor is the front line. Light and Luke have just not been able to frontline well. This Hylos, 0 and 5 currently. So, very far behind of Aran. And you can definitely see how much he's struggling here. Up against the Jawhead, you already struggle, right? But the fact that you're 0-5 and you're up against the Jawhead, that means your defenses are really bad right now.
Which has been an issue for Bigatron Esports this 13-minute bout and counting.
Yeah.
The heals from Kalia and the revitalize from Luke seem to be band-aid solutions to the surefire bullets that are thrown out by Team Liquid. Because the heals will do very little if the kind of damage Liquid is dealing is just so much. So now this is looking like a free Lord. Literally, this is the Lord wearing a Team Liquid ID jersey, and it's going to be marching down bottom. This is such a good position to be in if you're a fan of the Cavalry.
It is 10-5, 13 minutes in with the crazy goal lead that they've been able to get. Again, the goal lead that in the early game was held off by Bigatron Esports, but as we got into the 8th minute, I think it was, that goal lead went from 1K to a 4K goal lead, and now it's building up to, what, a 7,000 goal lead? Bigatron still have ways to clear. They have the Harith, a Sicilian as well, Hanzo, all really good at clearing, but they surely will lose a base turret this time around, and that will hurt their chances of contesting for the next neutral objective.
All right, before this crash, would be good to check up on items. Moreno does have a Lightning Trunch, so should help with damage dissemination. Oh, this is Fabian. All right, pops that ghost. Oh, Annabelle didn't get much out of that one.
Yeah, great move by Fabian. Holding in for the Blade Surge there. Able to Dash in time or blink in time. Witty caught all alone. I think the Tsunami Slap got him all the way back, and we will be taken down. Aran walks up as well, gets caught by Moreno with the Sanguine Claws, and that's going to be the Soul Snatch to take him down. 2 base turrets, only 2 frontliners value for Team Liquid ID.
You know what? Bigatron Esports should still thank their lucky stars. They survived with 1 inhibitor. I'm pretty sure that one down bottom was going to go anyways, and they still took down a couple on the way out. Witty and Aran not here to help the cores of Team Liquid ID. Annabelle comes through, Ghost gets popped real quick, and the rest of Team Liquid are on recovery mode. I don't think they were ready to lose 2 that quick.
No, definitely not. It's still a great trade again for Liquid ID. They lose out on Witty, lose out on Aran, but it's all good. They got 2 base turrets. That's more than they would hope for.
It's a permanent trade. Like, you lose things that respawn compared to like your base being open.
Yeah, and it's a good trade in the end, right? Sure, Bigatron got a turret, but it's a tier 1. They have. Wow, I just realized Liquid, that was their first turret taken by Bigatron Esports.
That's how bad it was.
That was, yeah, I mean, right now, 6.8k goal lead for Team Liquid ID. They're just going to play the slow game. There's really no reason for them to put themselves in a risky spot. They will just wait for the Lord, play the far lane, and then... But I think here... Oh, man. BTR holding the wave once again.
Yep, Friesen denying Moreno the resources, denying Eman another locked-in item. So this should be... This feels miserable for Bigatron, I gotta tell you now. Because even Annabelle can't touch his buffs. I can't remember the last time Annabelle like secured a safe buff.
Yeah, it's been like the orange buff, but even then he had to consume the orange buff to really get it here. You can see Fabian, okay, Moreno sees it, spots him out. Bad impact down. Purple buff should be taken out, and I think Eman should be the one taking it, yes.
Yep.
And it will be Eman, bottom lane, slow pushing once again for Team Liquid ID. They go straight for the Lord.
Annabelle refusing to devour it. He has to give it to the hero who needs it. At this point, it's Eman, not Moreno just yet. Team Liquid ID already starting to dance, playing with range. Annabelle pops the ghost here, and they begin.
Light's dead in an instant. Luke walks in with the Glorious Pathway, but there's not enough damage just yet. Pops in a Purify, gets bursted down, forces him on force defensively. Again, 2 of Bigatron's front lines disappearing. Annabelle trying to go for that form, to go for the steal, but it's impossible at this point of the game.
In vain. Anything Bigatron Esports tries now out of the realm of defense is in vain. So they have 3 members here to hunker down. Luckily, Light will be back and Luke will be back for the Lord push happening in about 20 seconds from now. Lord should be coming through bot, and Bigatron Esports, they have to feel a certain level of frustration. Mirko, Annabelle's ghost does nothing.
No, it really doesn't. Annabelle hasn't been able to do anything after, I think, past the first turtle that he stole. That was it. That was the limit of what he could do. Because again, for Liquid ID, they're just playing it so well, right? They're grouping up together every single time, and they are bursting through Annabelle every time he walks up. If it's not burst, it's CC. That ejector has been amazing from Witty.
And say what you will about that cooldown being much faster, it just does nothing.
Yep.
You're basically doing it over and over again. Insanity is what it is. The Glorious Pathway dropped down by Luke, and he gets ejected.
Uh-oh, Immortality going to be popped by Witty, going to be taken down as well. Zamanfor still down there as well. Good poke over to Aaron Shiki. They keep the base alive, but the turrets have all been dealt with, and you can see the discipline from Team Liquid ID. They're taking the base turrets. There's no reason for them to keep on going. Annabelle should be able to take this. He will. Bigatron, again, able to defend, but what cost now? 3 base turrets down.
Team Liquid ID, I think they made the right call here, deciding that there's no point in forcing the issue. They definitely could get punished against. This is the same story of that push for bottom and mid. So now Liquid ID learning from that lesson. They can just play it slow again. Look at this Light jumping in, looking for an engagement. Does not have a flicker. And look how deep Annabelle is. Ooh.
Good response from Fabian there. Aaron had to jump over. Does he have a win in nature, by the way, Aaron? Or is he just going glass cannon here, thinking that, again, his front line will be enough to hold off the Hanzo?
Folks, there is very little incentive for Aaron Shiki to build Wind of Nature. He's only afraid of Annabelle in that case. Everyone else does magic damage. So that should be a question we'll be getting the answer to in just a bit when we get the item check.
Should be a rose gold, right? Witty, no immortality, was popped just earlier in the team fight. Light has just bought that immortality. So far, Light hasn't really been able to get those big tsunami slams, right? It's really just been Witty, Aran, these frontliners. I don't even think we've seen Fabian get tsunami slammed yet.
Nope. It's very difficult. Again, it's the frontliners that you'll get those easy slams on. He'll have to commit the flicker to get the good targets like Yehezkel and Arashiki. And that's even counting those battle spells. He has to watch out for the flicker, has to watch out for the purify, or else he put himself in his position that a Jawhead usually finds himself in. You know, just constantly deep behind enemy lines. Now that the Lord has spawned up top, Liquid making a beeline for it, and the concealed play coming in. Bigatron Esports looking for one. Light does have a flicker and a Tsunami Slam online. They find one up top.
Tsunami Slam over to Witty. Doesn't have the immortality. Goes to Projector. Does Purify from Eman to escape. Witty going to be taken down right now. Zaran's going to be dealt with by Annabelle, who's dealing so much damage, but Luke will fall as well. Moreno trying to go for the kill with the bad impact and the flicker, but won't be able to find it. Light caught again. That is the Curse Blast together with Aaron Shaky to take the kill over. That's a 2-for-1 in favor of TLID. Only the damage dealers left alive for BTR.
Another 20-minute banger coming your way. Annabelle doing a lot of damage.
Jumps in over, Aran in the back as well. That's a big bonk over. Immortality bought by Annabelle. Moreno and Eman not going to be there to help him out. Moreno walking up finally, now pops into bat fees, but Aran deals with him. Eman walks up, now up against Fabian. The Blade Surge going to be chained up already, but Sanguine Claws lands on him. Immortality for both, and it's a great synchro vision there. Wins the crowd, it's another big bang. Impact.
Eman the only one left. He's against 3, and he can't steal the Lord. Aaron Shaky secures.
Oi, Eman jumps back in, gets bonked by Aran. It's a double kill and a Lord with Witty spawning in. It should be over. Only the 2 frontliners left to defend for BTR.
This is not ideal. The red robots are facing down the inevitable. Game 3 is just around the corner. Luke drops the glorious pathway. Light and him are trying their best.
8 seconds on Annabelle. Light's trying his best again. Tsunami Slam in vain. Luke is zoning the man away, actually able to dish out enough damage, but again, the frontliners, they're all on the base with the minions. An equalizer from the Indonesian champs.
We're going all the way. Game 2 goes to Team Liquid ID.